back. So we are technically almost a quarter into the 2024 NFL season, and we have 2 undefeated teams left and one who still doesn't have a victory. So let's break down who those teams are, who's probably going to be the most likely team who will remain undefeated, how long the Jaguars are going to remain winless, and every other game of the week 4 NFL season. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
So, Clowntown remains Clowntown. What do you think? Are you shocked? What are you more surprised? What are you most surprised by? Clowntown being Clowntown, or the Vikings being undefeated?
Well, Clowntown being Clowntown is just water being wet, you know what I'm saying?
So that doesn't surprise you at all?
It feels like they always have a good or a decent season, and then all of a sudden, back to the clown.
Yeah.
The circus is back in town. Meanwhile, the Vikings might be my favorite team right now, I'm not gonna lie.
Really? Now that's a statement. How come?
Because Sam Darnold is officially my quarterback on fantasy football.
Go fuck
and he's
yourself.
nabbing me them points.
Go fuck yourself. Listen, I don't hate it either because I picked up Jordan Addison a few weeks, and the boy had a game. But let's get into this. But before we get into it, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario SDW and at Super Dario World. If you want to join our league, you still can. Technically, though, in week 5, you would come in 3 points under whoever's in last place. But don't worry, we all suck. We're not doing too great. I believe the prize money right now, it's 300. Like we're at $300. So winner, it costs you nothing to enter. You can bet whatever you want if you want, and winner takes all, $300. So at the end of the season, me and Eric have an extra bet. Whoever loses that bet dies. His hair pink. So, am I getting it now? Am I getting it now?
It's perfect now. It's perfect.
Also, this podcast is brought to you by my hatred for Mossy Toyota Pacific Beach. If you feel like getting robbed, if you feel like losing your money, if you feel like dealing with people who lie to your fucking face, go visit them for your next vehicle. You'll end up having a great time. You know, you'll lose a ton of money, and you will lose a bunch of hours of your life. Also brought to you by my hate of the Toyota BC4X, their electric vehicle. It's total garbage. It's a total lie. Again, you will lose a bunch of money. But I'm free of that. It's no longer an issue in my life. So now I feel lighter. You know, I'm actually, I don't want to jinx it, but I might be close to being happy once again. You know, I'm actually might be close to not being miserable anymore. Also, quick notice. Next week's show, the next 2 weeks are going to be kind of weird. I'm going to be going on vacation, and so we're going to try to do this over the phone. We don't know how it's going to look. We don't know how it's going to sound. Eric's going to be running it, so it's going to be a mess probably. Just heads up. You know, just FYI. Also, I'm probably not going to watch the majority of the game, so you have a real advantage to catch up on points. So, there you go. Am I missing anything before we get into the games?
I don't think they're going to have an advantage. I think us picking randomly will benefit us.
Oh, so not knowing is going to be an advantage to me.
I think so.
All right, I'll take it. So let's begin week 4 of the 2024 season. The season that honestly, I felt like this is the season where I've known the least shit about fuck. You know, it's not even upsets anymore. It's just embarrassments. Like every single thing I thought I knew, me being clever has bitten me in the ass, and I've noticed a pattern. And when I get to the game where I've noticed a pattern, I'll let you know. Okay, I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah, it's not even upsets at this point. I'm just straight up depressed.
You know, I don't like this sport anymore. It ain't fun.
Every time I drink more and more in the podcast.
Let's get started. Thursday night football. Cowboys versus Giants in a snooze fest. Boring. If I have to put any highlights for this game, is that the Giants have a pretty decent kicker.
Flag.
Yeah, flags everywhere.
Flag.
That's the theme for this season. But yeah, the Giants have a pretty good kicker. He scored all their points, like a lot of them. Let me see. What was the final? 15 points. So 5 field goals. So if you're looking for a kicker in your fantasy league, he might be a good pickup. And Cowboys, their defense is pretty good. So There you go. They had a couple of rough weeks. This time, it looked a little bit better, but it's against the Giants, so does it really count? I don't think so. Let's continue. Next, or is there anything you want to say about this, besides flags and it being massively boring?
I mean, if a bear shits in the woods, does the Giants win? No.
Nobody wins. Next, we have the Cincinnati Bengals finally getting a win against the lowly Carolina Panthers and their ex-girlfriend, Andy Dalton. So this one was, let's just say the people of Cincinnati were concerned, but, you know, Andy Dalton reminded us of why they got rid of him. He did not play terrible. He did get a bad pick, and he did lose the game. But overall, I wouldn't say they lost because of Andy Dalton. And the Cincinnati Bengals, turns out they really missed this man, T. Higgins. Having him there is a massive bonus for that offense. It helps. Well, first, Jamar Chase is phenomenal. I don't know if you saw his crazy, like, 65-yard touchdown. Amaze balls. But more importantly, on third downs, they went to T. Higgins. So they were really missing that. I think from this point forward, this offense is going to start looking way different. Their defense still needs some work. And again, still not particularly pretty. But I think this was the missing piece that they needed to get over the losing hump. I don't know what you think.
I think, personally, as a Chargers fan, I'm really missing all of our receivers as well.
We'll get
that. There's nobody to throw the ball to.
We'll get to the Chargers when we get to the Chargers. All right.
Well, I'm happy that the Bengals finally got their win.
Okay.
Even if it has to be against the lowly, disgusting
Carolina Panthers.
Pathetic.
Yeah.
Carolina Panthers.
Losers. Next, we have the Atlanta Falcons barely squeaking by the New Orleans Saints. This one was actually also a boring game. I mean, it was close, but not particularly. The Saints got Taysom Hill back. Man got two rushing touchdowns. He really is a difference maker on that offense. However, not enough for them to win. On the other hand, the reason why the Falcons won is because of the Falcons' special teams and their defense. The offense did squat. I mean, at the end, they did enough, you know, to get the final score. But let's just say the defense is... It was up against not the best offense in the league. I mean, the Saints looked really hot, but I think they figured them out. And the offense is just weird. I don't know. I don't like Atlanta. I don't like the Saints. Both of these teams, I like the Saints defense for sure, but both of these teams feel like there's a lot missing on both sides, and I can't put my finger on it exactly. But what do you think? I don't know if you watched it. It wasn't a particularly fun game.
I like the Saints all right. Especially like them at first when they were just killing people. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but I think they figured them out.
Still, though, I mean, they got that they got that lovable aspect about them. On the other hand, I don't like the Falcons.
Fuck the Falcons.
Made pretty clear, yeah.
Yeah.
And
it is known.
But I am kind of conflicted because I always liked Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks that I think he's gonna throw away the rest of his career with the dumb Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
But I mean, winning ugly is still winning, right?
True. I mean, it doesn't matter as long as you get the W. The thing is, I don't see them progressing. Which other teams, we've seen progress. This one, not so much. Again, it was a divisional game against a really tough defense, but we'll see. We'll see. Next,
I feel like every season they always go 1-1 against one another.
Probably. So next we got the Texans beating down on the lowly Jacksonville Jaguars. And big storyline here probably is, how long will Doug Peterson keep his job? Because that's going to be the hottest seat in the NFL. And there's some hot ones. Oh, there's some hot seats. Like the head coach for the Giants, his seat is red hot. But Doug Peterson, holy shit. Trevor Lawrence, holy shit. Now the difference between these two is that Trevor Lawrence just got paid. So I don't think he's going to be benched anytime soon, but he kind of sucks. And the whole team.
The Giants, actually.
Yeah, the whole team kind of sucks. On the other hand, the Texans, fun watch. Stephon Diggs got his first rushing touchdown of his career. Not a great win. They're missing a run. They need a running game. Like they really need Mixon to get back. He's been injured, but we'll see. Still a fun watch. They got embarrassed last week, but this was let's just say it was a good get right game. Not perfect, but good enough. And also the black uniform for the Texans looks really cool. Just gotta put that out there. Next, probably the most boring game of the weekend. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. That was today.
Do this.
The Denver Broncos against the New Jersey Jets. This game, I think there was like 3 yards of offense in the entire first half. Like, it was pouring. And I don't know why. If it's pouring out, they kept passing the ball. Like, honestly, this loss is on the Jets being stupid. Because the final score was 10-9. They lost to the Broncos, but they ran the ball 23 times. Like, I'm not a genius. I'm not an expert. But I know that if the ball's wet, it's hard to throw. And if it's hard to throw, it's probably harder to catch. So why wouldn't you just hand it off? Because I don't know if you know this, but if a guy's wet, he's harder to tackle. And you have a pretty big running back there. So why didn't they just run the ball more? I don't get it. So yeah, the Broncos have a really feisty defense. Like, that defense is legit. 2 weeks in a row, they've played lights out. But still, why would you throw the ball more than you rush it? I don't get it. I don't understand it. It was stupid. But, you know, at the end of the day, the Broncos did enough to win. So their QB got 60 yards of offense. Aaron Rodgers got 225. Now, the one thing I'll give him is that the man survived. So, which is an accomplishment. He got sacked like 5 times. So if you're getting sacked like crazy, run the ball maybe. I don't know. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know what you think.
Well, maybe they thought they were being sneaky and be like, oh, they think we're gonna run the ball because that's smart.
Yeah. They
And
outsmarted them.
Smart. We're the New Jersey Jets, motherfucker.
Yeah. Like, dude, here you go. Aaron Rodgers threw the ball 42 times in the rain. Like, that's just dumb. That's just not
How
smart.
many completions?
24 out of 42. Like, that's brutal. And again, against a really good defense. So, whatever. Point is, the playoff picture in the AFC is looking way more open than I thought. It's not as locked down as I originally thought. Like, the Dolphins, I think, are pretty much dead in the water. The Jets are looking kind of like dead in the water. And yes, pun intended.
No.
Next, we have probably the best game of the weekend. The Vikings hosting the Green Bay Packers with the return of Jordan Love. And holy shit, it looked like it was going to be a massive beatdown, and then it wasn't. Kudos to the Green Bay Packers for managing to claw their way back into this game. Like, they were down by like 28-0, I think, at one point. Maybe 28-7. And the final score is 31-29. And it wasn't all garbage time. Like, in the final quarter, they actually looked like they might squeak away with it. Now, there were some questionable calls at the end by the Vikings, but, you know, they did enough to win. So, good for them. Big storyline here. The Packers don't have a kicker. They need a kicker. So, if you're looking for a new job and want to play in the NFL, you could apply to play for the Packers as the kicker. Literally anybody. Like, my year-old nephew could apply for that job, and he might be better than the current kicker that they have. So, you know, if you're looking for a career change, fellas, anybody. The story for the Vikings, you know, besides Sam Darnold looking phenomenal, freaking Jeffries being maybe the best wide receiver in the NFL, is the return of Jordan Addison. So they're getting healthier. This man had 2 touchdowns. So one of the best teams in the league is getting better. They're getting healthier. They're going to get their star tight end back eventually. So they've beat 3 legit teams now. I believe they've beaten the 49ers, they've beaten the Packers, and who else did they beat? That was a respectable win.
49ers, Packers, did they beat the Rams?
No, but I wouldn't say that's a respectable win. Let me see. I can find their schedule pretty quickly here. 49ers, Giants, Texans, Packers. So those are 3 playoff teams that potential playoff teams that they've kicked their asses. So, and I don't mean just beat them. I mean kick their asses. So, Vikings are for real. Like, at this point, you gotta admit it. The Vikings are for real. That 4-0 is well deserved. Any thoughts?
Yeah, Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it, honestly. I always kind of like Sam Darnold, and I felt bad for him being in the Jets because he was in the Jets.
Yeah. And nobody has fun in the Jets. Ask Aaron Rodgers. Next.
And then he went, I think, to the Panthers.
Yeah. Next.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and then the 49ers, you know.
he never had a chance.
Yeah, poor soul. Poor unfortunate soul. Next, the Indianapolis Colts beat, on the first upset of the weekend probably, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now the Steelers almost made a comeback, but the Colts were able to defeat them, and it was because of one man, Joe Flacco. So Joe Flacco is still really good at beating the Steelers. The man loves it. It's his favorite thing. Yeah, it's great. Now, the weird thing here is what happened to Anthony Richardson. The man got injured, right? He hurt his hip. 2 minutes later, they put him back in the game, and they do like a quarterback run. And he got injured again. Shocker. So listen, somebody needs to tell the head coach, Shane Steichman, I believe that's his name, you can bench your players, all right? If you don't want your player to play, you can bench him. You're the head, you could do it. You don't have to send the man in there to die, all right? That's insanity. Somebody needs to look into this, because that's just not right. Like, honestly, I feel bad for this guy.
Like old Tony Dickey.
Listen, I don't know what the hell is up there. I don't know if he owes him money or something, but that just ain't right. It ain't right by me. I do not support it. I do not condone this. It was not cool, to say the least. All right, not a cool move.
You know the extent of his injury?
No. I mean, I don't know how long he's going to be out, if that's what you're asking. By the way, are we having issues on the YouTube front?
No, I can see us here.
All right. Okay. Cool. Doesn't matter. Let's continue. Next, we have the Chicago Bears beating the very injured LA Rams. I felt really bad for the Rams on this one. I felt really bad for freaking Stafford, because the Bears have a very solid defense, and he just has nobody to throw the ball to. And still, they managed to keep the game close. Cam Akers there running the ball. Oh, no, it's not Cam Akers. They got somebody else. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Point is, they lost. The Bears, on the other hand, freaking Devontae Swift. Is that what's his name? DeAndre Swift finally got his head out of his ass and started running like he used to, like he's an NFL starter, and just ran the ball down. They just ran the ball down the Rams' throats. So, Bears turning it around. Is this, the start of the Caleb Williams dynasty? Doubt it, but good game for them.
I don't particularly care for the Bears, but thank God DeAndre Swift finally started moving his ass.
Oh yeah, because you have him in your fantasy.
Give me finally some damn points.
All right, lucky you. This was a good week for you, I think. Yeah, you had a good week, I think. I had a terrible week. Well,
I had a terrible week because I went against my dad, who did like 140 points.
Damn. Next,
I would have beat like half of the other league.
Probably. It would beat me easy. Next, we have I went up against Derrick Henry this week. All right, enough said. So next we have the Buccaneers just embarrassing the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, this was bad. It was bad. Like, the Eagles never had a shot whatsoever. They were dominated left and right, all aspects of the game. And so the funny thing here is Tom Brady was the color commentator of this game, and he just roasted the fuck out of Baker Mayfield. I don't know if you caught that, but it was hilarious. Like, Baker said something during the week. I'm gonna butcher the quote probably. Let me see if I can find it. Baker quote Tom Brady, because I don't want to totally butcher it. Doesn't matter. It's gonna be hard, and I don't want to just waste time on it. But Baker Mayfield said something like, "Oh yeah, everybody here was stressed, and I helped make things be more fun down here and made people love football again, blah blah blah, yada yada yada." Right? Something to that regard, like trying to make it sound like things were tense under Tom Brady. And so Tom Brady then replied with like, you know what's stressful to me? Not winning a Super Bowl. and he continued to roast the hell out of him. He's like, holy shit. Even the other commentator was like, oh my god, Tom, seems like you still have that competitive spirit, huh? Like, yep.
Also, apparently Tom Brady is not stressed out that often.
Yeah, no, he's doing fine. He's doing good. Anyway, Baker Mayfield had a good game. On the other hand, the Philadelphia Eagles, who's got a hotter seat? The head coach of the Eagles, Nick Sirianni, or Jalen Hurts? Who would you say is in bigger trouble right now?
I think generally speaking, the coach tends to be more on the hot seat.
I would not be surprised if Nick Sirianni...
We've seen Jalen Hurts produce. Freaking made it to the Super Bowl. I would say Sirianni.
Jalen Hurts is usable, but he's not phenomenal, right? He has his moments, but I wouldn't say he's great. Nick Sirianni, I don't know what he does. And so he makes really bad calls on fourth down. I know that. That's for sure. But there seems like there's a beef between Jalen Hurts and Sirianni. I would not be surprised if this man is the first one to get fired. I don't think they're going to do it during the season, but Bill Belichick to the Eagles next season, not the craziest thing in the world. And it might actually be a good thing for Philadelphia because they actually have a pretty good team. I just don't know what the hell. They need to get their head out of their butts. But whatever. Next, Patriots versus the 49ers. So the 49ers basically had practice on Sunday and they whooped the freaking Patriots. The Patriots returned to Jacoby Brissett. I thought it was going to be the Drake May show, but apparently not. It's still Jacoby Brissett. And the man got sacked like 50 times. So good for him, I guess. I don't know. He got the starting job where he got shellacked again. And the 49ers got Deebo Samuel and George Kittle again. Now, I think Kittle got injured at one point again. But this team clearly looks extremely different with these two gentlemen in their offense. So any thoughts? Did you watch this one or just the highlights?
I saw some of the highlights, but so the Patriots were totally fake, excluding that first game, right?
Yeah. They had one good game.
What we thought they would be.
Yep, exactly. Next.
Didn't it be like the Ravens or something?
They beat the Bengals.
That's right.
Yeah. Next.
We forgot the Bengals suck at the beginning.
Exactly. Next, the beatdown of the weekend. The Commanders beating down the Arizona Cardinals 42-14 in Arizona. So we know the Cardinals can't play at home, but holy shit can the Commanders play on the road. The boy Jane Daniels, right now, easily the top contender for Rookie of the Year. I don't think anybody else is even close. Out of this class of QBs, he's far and away the best one right now. Really high completion percentage. And let me just check this real quick because it was nuts. 26 out of 30 for a rookie. All right. It's his first time out there. So, fun fact, the offensive coordinator for the Commanders is a man named Cliff Kingsbury, who was the former head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. So maybe, there was like a little extra motivation there, but still Arizona looked lost. Baker got sacked a bunch of times, I'm sorry, not Baker. Kyler got sacked a bunch of times, which is not normal. This dude's usually pretty elusive, but what can you do? You can't dodge them all. Eric, any thoughts?
Man, do we actually have to start paying attention to the Commanders?
I think so. I know they didn't have a touchdown for like the first 3 weeks, and they were still at the top of their division, which was funny. Dude, it's crazy. Like the last 2 games have been actually fun to watch, offensive wise. Yeah, they've had like 2 punts in 2 games. It's crazy. It's nuts. But they're in a particularly easy division. I wouldn't say the NFC East is a gauntlet. I think they can easily take that one and go to the playoffs. Like, I expected the Commanders to suck for a while, but nah, turns out that the rebuild was faster than expected. They're ahead of schedule, as they would say. So good for them. They should return to being the Redskins again, but whatever. Good for them.
They still got those petitions, don't they?
I hope so. Those continue. Next, The saddest game of the weekend. The Chargers lose in Los Angeles to the Kansas City Chiefs 17-10. So, Chiefs continue their bad luck of losing very important players. So their star running back Pacheco broke his leg, I believe last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. And now their star wide receiver Rashee Rice got his knee broken by his quarterback. Well, it's not exactly clear how bad his injury is, but it looked pretty bad and he might be done for the season. So this just reminds me.
Don't worry, the Bills are gonna send him some wide receivers.
You know what? That's what I was gonna say. This loss is because of the fucking Buffalo Bills trading their pick to the freaking Kansas City Chiefs so they could draft the fastest man on the draft, Xavier Worthy, who scored a touchdown, like a 675-yard touchdown. It was nuts. Man's fast. Also, fuck you, Buffalo Bills, because apparently the kicker, the punter for the Chiefs is the man you let go. So just fuck the Buffalo Bills. And right now, clearly the Chiefs, they're going to try to trade with somebody to get a new wide receiver. And thank God Stephon Diggs is not with the Buffalo Bills anymore, because the Bills would have traded with him, right? Anybody out there, do not trade with the Chiefs. Now, if you're a team like, I don't know, let's say the Raiders, and they offer you the keys to the kingdom, right? Every single draft pick for the next 10 years. All right, I get it. All right, I understand. Because you can give him Devontae Adams, and it would be...
Dear God, no.
Every single draft pick for the next 10 years.
It means that you as an organization don't plan to do shit for the next 10 years, but lose and rebuild.
Yeah, the Chiefs, yeah. So you're the Raiders. If the Raiders are like, hey, I don't know, if the Chiefs are like, hey, we'll give you every single draft pick for the next 10 years for Devontae Adams this year, what would you do? You'd probably be like, yes, because this is going to screw you over for the next 10 years, right?
I think I'd rather not have him get the 3-peat.
Fine. But there's teams out there who would consider it. For example, teams that I'm concerned about. The Titans and DeAndre Hopkins, because they have a plethora of receivers. Also Ridley. I don't think they would give up Ridley, but DeAndre Hopkins is an option. The Browns with Amari Cooper. I'm concerned there. Who else? Who else would I be concerned about being stupid enough to trade? Oh, the Dolphins trading Tyreek Hill, because they ain't going nowhere this season. And those are probably the big concerns. Maybe.
Why couldn't the Chargers get any of these guys?
I don't know, because they don't want to trade that. It depends on what they ask for them, right? Right now, the Chiefs are probably desperate enough to ask for a trade for somebody. Maybe Pittman from the Colts, but I don't think that the Colts are that desperate. I don't know. But again, teams that I'm concerned about. But whatever. Point is, Chiefs win, but they lose their star wide receiver. Who knows how much that's going to affect them. Overall, the story of this game is missed opportunity. The Chargers actually had an opportunity to beat the Chiefs. Unfortunately, they were too injured, I believe. And they had a really bizarre, bad
play calling, dude. Bad
at the end.
Calling.
At the end, it was bad play calling, not going for the field goal. It was a bizarre sequence of events.
No, when they were at the freaking 2-3 yard line, why did you stop running the ball? What are you doing?
Yeah. Actually, that's what the bizarre sequence of events I'm talking about. They asked for a timeout instead of calling for a challenge, because there was a challenge because I believe it was Palmer. He tripped, but it wasn't clear if he got touched before he reached the first down. It was bizarre. It was a bizarre sequence of events, and it was a very stupid decision not to go for the field goal or to run the ball. But it's one of those things where you're like, oh, I'm smarter than everybody else. Everybody expects me to run it, so I'm gonna throw it. It's stupid. I don't know whether to do a quarterback sneak. I don't know.
How do the Chiefs keep making teams do this?
I don't know. They make you desperate, but whatever. The point is, they didn't lose because of that particular play, right? The Chiefs still would have scored afterwards. It doesn't matter. The big thing here is the big takeaway here is.
Well, it does matter. It would have been tied, but yeah.
Oh, probably, yeah. Okay, so the big takeaway to me after watching the game, sure, it sucked that they lost, but it's like they were without their starters, right? Without key starters, you know, your 2 tackles, without Bosa, without Derwin James, and with an injured Justin Herbert, they were there. Like, they were there every step. They were dominating.
1 quarter.
Yeah, they were dominant most of the game. The defense was dominant, and they had a shot. Now, at the end of the game, there's a video circulating of Justin Herbert just smashing his helmet against the bench, and people are like, oh shit, things are starting to unravel. No, I think this is a good thing. I think it's a good thing to see that out of Herbert, because he's pissed off with himself. I get it. There were multiple reads that he missed. There were multiple open guys that could have led to that if he would have thrown it to that guy, it would have been a touchdown. So I know there's a lot of people who are really upset, you know, freaking Greg Roman sucks, blah, blah, blah. Watch the game. And honestly, watch the commentary from Tony Romo. I was shocked. Tony Romo was actually pretty good in this game. The commentary for Tony Romo, he's like, that guy was open. If he would have hit this guy instead of that guy, that's a touchdown. This guy instead of that, it's a touchdown. So Justin Herbert didn't have enough time in the pocket. Again, didn't have the 2 starting tackles, and he's in pain. And as anybody who's ever played hurt or injured knows, time moves way, way faster when you're injured. Your body sometimes doesn't react the way you want it to. And imagine also being on the lookout for, grown men trying to kill you, like 300-pound men trying to kill you.
Always am.
If he would have had a little bit more time, it would have been a little bit better. That pass he threw to McConkey for the touchdown was phenomenal. So the theme or the overall consensus for me, like if I have to come out with something, sure, it's missed opportunity, but trending in the right direction. Because even with backups, those are backups, they look pretty good. All right? Not they need to clean up the stupid flags. Like, that's the most important part.
It's killing me, man. It's fucking killing me.
If they get their shit together, clean up, first off, clean up flags. 2, get healthy. And right now, I don't think we've lost any players for the season. In fact, I don't think Slater was even put on IR. So I don't think they were put on IR. I think they're week to week. So it's trending in the right direction. I think I'm still being optimistic. I liked a lot of what I saw. A lot of what we saw was ugly, but dude, I can guarantee you that the Chiefs on their way home was like, holy shit, we should have lost that game, and we would have lost to a bunch of nobodies, right? Probably one of everybody's like, oh, one of the worst rosters in the league. A bunch of nobodies, a bunch of like dudes getting their second chance, blah, blah. Almost beat the reigning champs, right? They were right there. If they would have had a little bit more star power, I think they would have been able to do it. So trending in the right direction, and it's still BS that every single thing always falls to the Chiefs to help them out, but whatever.
Yeah, and well, to bring us down a bit, Travis Kelce fully back, as he always is against us.
Yeah.
I think he caught more yards this game than any other game in the season combined.
Sure. That boy good.
Man, some of the play calls are just they're stressing me out. I like that they're trying to run the ball more, you know, make that play action a real threat, but it's always the same damn play, just pounding it down the middle. And you could see it in the second half. The defense wasn't even trying that hard anymore, and they weren't getting the yards they used to.
Well, here's kind of the thing. They do have Chris Jones on the outside. You know, he's not the nose. He's on the out. He's a defensive lineman, but he's on the outside. And your 2 starting tackles are backups, so you kind of want to try to run it where your 2 starters are, which would be the Zion Johnson and Bozeman. So I get the logic. I didn't love the execution. Clearly, they needed more work. They needed to switch stuff up, but I get the logic. I think. I don't know.
I think in those type of games, we really do start missing guys like Austin Eckler.
Yes.
Where you can have that little,
listen, Dobbins.
that little thread,
I think Dobbins is a better runner than Eckler, but Eckler had hands.
but he doesn't have the hands. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a catch that it's
That
almost
if Dobbins,
almost
would've caught
unforgivable.
that.
Almost unforgivable that Dobbins did not catch. That thing was a dime from freaking Justin Herbert in like a football-sized window, and he missed it. So
he was running full sprint.
yeah, so it's again missed opportunity. It sucks. It was a painful loss. All losses are painful, but we're back to square one. 0-0 going into the bye week. There's a lot to work on, which is a good thing for the bye week. You're coming off a loss, which means you're going to be more motivated. Listen, I loved seeing Justin Herbert that pissed off. If you saw him during the game, this is like the closest I've seen him to look like Tom Brady, eye-wise. Like the man was, he was a killer. Like he was completely focused. He had ice in his vein. He was pissed. And so I like that. I like that they're bringing out that in that team. That's the mentality. That's the attitude that I like. So
I want to see Justin Herbert pull an American History X on a tablet. That's what I want to see. Like I want to see him just obliterate all the tablets in the sideline.
Yeah,
Tom Brady style.
I know there's a lot of people saying like, dude, okay, with the helmet thing. 'Cause again, you watch the video if you can find it. But Justin Herbert just smashing the helmet against the bench. I know a lot of people are like, dude, he doesn't have any receivers, blah blah. No, I can guarantee you, Justin Herbert did that because he was pissed off with himself. Because he was like, he was fucking open. I should have had the throw. I should have done this. Because based on what I know about the guy, based on his interviews, based on everything that I've heard, he's the guy that puts it on himself. And so he's got more motivation now than ever. And right now it's one of those things like, dude, your head coach thinks you're a superstar. Live up to it. And he's probably pissed because he's like, I'm not living up to what this team believes of me. Like I'm letting them down. And honestly, you get more pissed off at yourself. At least for me, like I'm more likely to lose my shit when I do something stupid when I'm playing softball than when somebody else fucks up. Sure, it's annoying, but it's more of a, all right. But when you do it, you're like, fuck. So that type of reaction. So I don't know. I like it. Again, I like the attitude. I like that they're showing an attitude. I like that they're mad. Before it's just, they were a wet blanket. They're like, all right. He looks sad. No, get angry. And good, have that fire, have that, thirst for victory. So you let the defense down. The defense played a phenomenal game. They kept them under 20 points for you. The Chiefs, you need to step up. And so I like it. I think it's a good thing. Again, I expected this one to be a loss. I didn't expect it to be this close. And then they lost half of their starters. Still managed to keep it close. So I don't know. I like it. We
lose half our starters right before we go against the Chiefs. How do they keep doing it?
Sometimes I've said it my entire life. It's better to be lucky than smart, right? It's 100 times better to be lucky than smart. So anyway, let's move on from this game and let's move on to the Raiders, who managed to sneak a victory from the Browns without Devontae Adams. The Browns are cooked, man. Like that's takeaway here. Deshaun Watson, cooked. Everybody, their defense cooked. Everybody's cooked. Like this wasn't a fun game to watch. It was just two bad teams playing each other badly. And the Raiders managed to sneak away a victory. So good on them, I guess. Anything you want to say about this one?
Deshaun Watson sucks.
Dude, I think the Browns are the most disappointing team this season. By far.
Maybe ever.
Sure, why not? Next, the Buffalo Bills just getting shellacked.
Actually, you know what? The Bills are the most disappointing ever.
No, this week, but just getting their asses handed to them by the Ravens. Why? Because this man, Derrick Henry, ran the ball down their throats. 24 carries for 199 yards. This is what the Ravens should have been the entire season. You know why they lost 2 games? Because they didn't do this. If this is the Ravens team I expected to come out of the gates. I don't know why they didn't, because it was stupid. But right now, the Ravens look like they can kick anybody's ass and kick it hard, right? Maybe the Vikings can hold up to them. but holy shit, this looks scary because the defense looks really good, and their freaking their offense running the ball like crazy. So good on them. Let me just see the stats real quick. 271 yards of total rushing, 156 passing, 7.9 yards per play. That's crazy. That's madness. Against the Buffalo Bills, who are supposed to be a really good team. They were 3-0. So again, we're starting to see a pattern here. Teams are starting to figure stuff out. The good teams are going to start separating from the bad. And this leads me to my theory as to what happened to the Ravens. So I noticed something this particular week. The first 2 weeks of the season, I had the Ravens defense as my starting team in my fantasy football. Guess what happened? They lost, right? Ravens lost both games. Then week 3, the Raiders, who'd had a really good defense for the first 2 weeks, went up against the Carolina Panthers. And so I was like, I'll pick them up. It'll be like printing free money, right? I picked up the Raiders, start them, Raiders lose. This week, I'm like, fuck. All right, who's got a good matchup and who's a good defense? The Steelers are available, man. The Steelers who just have been dominating for 3 weeks. And they're up against the freaking Colts who can't get their act together. I pick up the Steelers, and guess what the fuck happened? The Steelers got their asses handed to them. So the pattern here is whoever I put as my starting defense is gonna get shellacked. All right? So
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, anybody out there in my fantasy football league, if you have the Chiefs, trade them to me. Trade them to me. I'll start them the rest of the fucking season. Jesus Christ, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But whatever. Now I have the Steelers and I have the Ravens. I'm not letting them go. I'm going to be screwing somebody over throughout the season. I don't care. But Jesus Christ. Anyway, back to this game. Derrick Henry.
Bengals and the Broncos fans love you right now.
You're right. Derrick Henry, he looked pretty good. Josh Allen, not so great. Is it cause for concern for the Bills? I wouldn't say so. I mean, teams, they're not going to play the Ravens every single week. Clearly, they need adjustments when they meet the Ravens again in the postseason, but the Bills still look pretty good. It was just a bad matchup for them, I think. I don't think it's a big cause for concern. At least I wouldn't be too concerned. But yeah, they look pretty bad. Really, really bad. And the Ravens looked really, really good. So we'll see what happens. Next. I want the Bills to make it to the Super Bowl and lose. Fair enough. As long as the Chiefs don't make it to the Super Bowl, I'm happy. Next.
Yeah, I want the Bills to continue to feel what they've done.
Suffer. Next, we have maybe the most boring game of the weekend. I don't know. It's between this one and the Broncos and the Jets. The Dolphins hosting the Tennessee Titans and getting their asses handed to them by the Titans in the second half because of one reason. What do you think that is?
Ryan Tannehill's back.
No. They benched Will Levis, and the man who took up the mantle is Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph is back on an NFL field, baby. Bitch. Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. But, well, I could believe.
Fucking league.
Yeah, I could believe that they benched Will Levis. I even told you, I think last week, do you think he's the first quarterback to get benched? Yeah. And guess what happened? The Titans won. Also, the Dolphins, they're in fucking trouble, man. Like, without Tua, they got nothing. They got less than nothing. It's brutal.
Who's the quarterback right now?
Huntley. Tyler Huntley. Man looked lost too. So things are not good in Miami right now. Chuck Dominguez is asking, am I late? Yes, you're very late. We started at 9. We're almost done, buddy. We're almost done. We already talked about the Broncos. We praised the Broncos.
We praised the hell out of the Broncos.
At least their defense. But yeah, you missed it. Anyway, next, final game of the week. The Detroit Lions having a hard-fought match against the Seahawks. Final score 42-29. If I had to listen, the Seahawks looked like a playoff team, right? They looked like a 3-0 team. They looked really good, but the Lions were just head and shoulders better than they were. Like, it was unbelievable how good they looked. They looked almost as good as that black uniform that they're wearing. It's super
That's
cool.
what I was gonna say. They looked awesome,
dude. That uniform easily in the top 3 of the coolest uniforms in the NFL. Easily.
They should switch to that black line for their logo.
Dude, it looks super awesome. I think the reason why they don't do it is because it looks super similar to the Carolina Panthers. Same color scheme, same whatever. But fuck the Panthers. Yeah, it looks really cool. I would switch that out like that.
What do you think think about what the Rams did when they came to LA? They just took the Chargers colors.
Yeah, good on them. So it's one of those things where I'm like, a buddy of mine is a Lions fan. He's been a Lions fan forever. And I'm like, dude, you need to buy that jersey. It's one of the coolest jerseys in the NFL. Like, off the top of my head, my 3 favorite uniforms, probably it's that Lions right now. The Bengals all white, you know, the one with the white Siberian tiger. And yeah. And the Chargers navy blue. I really like the one with the colored in bolt. I think it's really cool. So those, off the top of my head, top 3 uniforms. I don't know what you think, but I guess that doesn't really have anything to do here. The important thing about this game is the Lions have a running game, man. Holy shit. Montgomery is unstoppable and Gibbs just as unstoppable. Let me just see the line here real quick. The stats. Team stats. Total yards for the Seahawks was 516 yards, all right? For the Lions, 389, but 116 on the ground, and I believe 3 touchdowns on the ground. Like, it was crazy, right? The numbers do not tell the story of this game at all. Because if I have to use a word to describe the Lions, it's intense. They're intense, and they were intense even in garbage time. So that team is starting to look pretty good. I don't know what happened against the Buccaneers, but they're starting to look pretty dominant over there. And let me see, Chuck Dominguez.
Hey man, the Buccaneers ain't too bad.
No, they're pretty good. Let's see. We got strong D. Nobody can that D. Nobody can't handle that D. X2 banned YouTube account. Vikings defense stops Detroit. That is going to be a matchup. That is going to be a matchup because here's the problem with what you just said. There is kind of a blueprint to how to beat the Vikings defense, and it was given to us by the Green Bay Packers this week. So they didn't win the game, but if they kind of figured out the defense closer to the end of it. So there is a way to beat them, you know? And Ben Johnson ain't no fool. Ben Johnson is the offensive coordinator of the Lions. I'm pretty sure he's going to watch that game, and I'm pretty sure he's going to see what the Packers did, and I'm pretty sure he's going to have a plan for it. Now, obviously, Brian Flores, not a fool either. He's going to watch all the Lions game, and he's going to have a plan for it either. So it's going to be a pretty good matchup. Honestly, I think it's going to come down to the other side of the ball. It's going to come down to, can the Lions defense stop the Vikings offense? And I think the Vikings offense has the advantage there. But we'll see. You know, we'll see. We'll see who comes ready to play. And they're not playing this week, so it doesn't matter. So, on the other hand...
That's what I was going to say. I thought the Vikings were playing somebody else.
Yeah, they're playing somebody else. They're playing... you know what? I want it to be a surprise.
I saw it. I just forgot it.
Yeah. Kenneth Walker. The Seahawks really missed this guy. Kenneth Walker, let me just see his stats here real quick. 12 carries, 80 yards. Nothing to write home about. And 3 touchdowns. 3 freaking touchdowns for Kenneth Walker. And Geno Smith, 395 yards. So, you know, like I said, the Seahawks look like a playoff team. They just went up against probably the top team in that conference. So there you go. Next, okay, now we go to our week 5 predictions. Eric, are you ready to write them down? Are you ready?
Yeah, I should be. Where'd the page go?
Oh no, we lost the page. Anyway, I'll just start here. Thursday night football. The Buccaneers visit the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. I'm gonna go first. I don't trust the Falcons, even at home. The Bucs have shown me a little bit more. It's a divisional round, so yeah, I'm gonna take the Buccaneers on this one. Eric, who do you like?
I like the Bucaneros as well. I'm gonna go with the Falcons, just the good old reliable.
Good old reliable. Cool. All right.
Are the Falcons are at home?
Yeah. Got
Yeah,
picked
that
home.
might be a little trouble, but
Yeah, got picked home. Next,
okay.
we have the New Jersey Jets visiting the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold's ex-girlfriend game. Eric, who do you like?
Sammy.
See, now there's two very interesting storylines here, right? One is Aaron Rodgers, formerly of the Green Bay Packers, which
He's
is
gonna
in
pull
the
Joe Flacco, isn't he?
in the NFC North, against Sam Darnold, who used to play for the Jets. I love it both ways. I love it both ways. And both of them, I kind of want the Vikings to beat the schlack out of the Jets. And I like the Jets, but I like the schlacking. I don't know what you think. I'm picking the Vikings, by the way.
I'm picking the Vikings as well. I think. I don't. I haven't been too impressed with the Jets' performances. They have been better, but still, I need to see a little bit more.
Listen,
more cohesion with them.
You are who you beat.
And
You are who you beat. And if you are who you beat, the Vikings are a good team. The Jets stink.
honestly, I think the Vikings may be the worst team the Vikings have played so far.
The Jets?
So, yeah,
I think you said the Vikings are the worst team the Vikings have played so far.
the other one.
All right. Fair enough. All right. God picked home.
It vanished.
Yeah. Next, we got the Carolina Panthers visiting the Chicago Bears. I don't know what the Panthers are, but the Bears got a run game. Actually, the Panthers have a really good team. They just need a quarterback. Hubbard looked really good. I don't think they could take down the Bears defense though. So give me the Bears.
Oh man.
Got picked home, by the way.
Just because they're at home and they played real good this week. Well, they didn't play real good, but they started running the damn ball.
Yeah. Turns out that when your quarterback is a rookie, it's really good to have a really good run game. Next.
Yeah, if the Red Rocket Man could have shown up again, I would have maybe considered making a move, but nah.
Yeah.
I think he still sucks.
Next. This is going to be quick. Browns versus Commanders.
Give me Commanders.
Yeah, give me Commanders. Like the Browns are cooked. God picked home. Next. Oh, God. Ugh. Miami Dolphins against the Patriots in New England. Tua's on IR, so I think he's still out for 2 weeks at least. I had Drake May here, but I think it's going to be Brissett. I don't. You know what? I'm flipping a coin for me. I don't want to pick the Dolphins. Give me the Patriots. Actually, no. No. Give me the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins.
Oh, God. It feels like one where I could make a move just because both teams stink.
Oh, yeah.
But the Patriots are at least playing at home. I guess. Patriots.
You're making a move? All right.
Yeah, I'm making a move.
God picked home. Next.
Come on, God.
Come on, God. Next. Interesting matchup. Indianapolis Colts versus the lowly Jacksonville Jaguars.
At Jacksonville?
Jacksonville, yeah. If it's on the right, that's at home.
I'm going with the Jaguars.
Really? I'm gonna go with the Colts.
It's the Colts in Jacksonville.
I know.
You know?
I forgot about that. I wish I hadn't said it.
Clown Town.
Give me the Colts. Give me the Colts.
Okay.
I believe in Joe Flacco. And I think
that's the first time I've heard that sentence.
I think
ever.
things are so freaking toxic in Jacksonville right now. Give me the Colts. And let me see what God thinks. Home. Now, interesting matchup. The Buffalo Bills visiting the Houston Texans.
Whoosh.
So
Ex-girlfriend game
for Stephon Diggs. Oh man, this is tough.
To be fair, the Bills are gonna be having like most of their games are gonna be ex-girlfriend games because they just keep giving away their damn players.
True. I'm gonna pick the Buffalo Bills on this one. just because I don't know what the status for Joe Mixon is going to be. It's very early in the week. And also, I mean, they just got embarrassed. They're going to be getting ready for this week like nobody's business. They're going to be hyper-focused because, again, they just got embarrassed. So, give me the Bills.
I'm going with the Loud House on this one.
Loud House.
Stroud.
Stroud.
I'm a Stroud this week.
All right.
I feel like one that's fairly safe to make a move on.
Dude, honestly, it's a coin toss.
In a good way.
Yeah. These are both playoff teams. They've been playing like playoff teams. They've had one bad game each against really dominant teams. So, we'll see. Got picked home.
Stroud.
Next, another interesting matchup. The Ravens visiting the Cincinnati Bengals. Will we get the all-white uniform? I doubt it, but I hope they do. Anyway.
Isn't that an away uniform?
I think it's the Thursday Night Football. Or maybe the Monday Night Football. No, Thursday Night Football. Because I think the Monday one was like all orange and ugly. Anyway, doesn't matter. I think you go first, actually. Yeah.
Oh, man. If they play like they played this week, I'm going to go with the Ravens every damn week. And I think they remember that they have Hail to the King with freaking King Henry over there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Yeah, I think the Ravens are back to form. I think the Bengals are getting there.
But they beat the Panthers. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, no, based on what it looks like with Higgins out there. So I think they're starting to get what they wanted to do again, because they were trying to use their tight ends to do what they used to do with Higgins. So that it's huge to have him back specifically. But the Ravens look phenomenal on defense. Like what Derrick Henry did is massively impressive. Don't get me wrong. But that defense is starting to look right. So give me the Ravens. I'm going to stick with the Ravens. Next.
Got to see a little bit more of the Bengals first, huh?
Yep. God picked away. It's a divisional game. You know, divisional games are always a coin toss, but I think they have the edge on the defense here. Next, we have the Raiders visiting the Broncos. I don't know if Devontae's playing. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I wonder what Chuck's gonna pick.
I wonder who you're gonna pick. Listen, I don't want to pick the Broncos, and I don't want to pick the Raiders.
That is a conundrum twice a season.
But the Raiders, we don't know what the hell's up with Devontae. That's the biggest X factor here. And this is the disadvantage of doing it so early on in the week.
Yeah, we gotta start doing these like on Wednesday night, damn it.
I can't. Anyway, you mean like split it up into 2 different podcasts?
Oh, for the guessing?
Yeah.
We'll talk more off screen.
Yeah, we'll talk off screen. Yeah. we can barely coordinate for once a week. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I hate this. I hate it. I hate them both. You know what? Just for Chuck, I'm picking the Broncos. Also, you know, because it happens to be a home game. But I don't like it.
I think right now, if you're an AFC West fan, or like a fan of a team in the AFC West, I think it's clear you automatically root against the Chiefs.
Sure.
And then you root against the Raiders. And I think the Broncos are the least offensive ones. Give me Mile High.
Listen. The Broncos are in a very shitty situation, financially speaking. So I think
it's funny because they have the richest owners.
And so I think it's actually impressive what they're accomplishing, because they're in a really fucked up spot. Like, the Raiders are in a fucked up situation as well, but they have money to spend. It's just that they're stupid with how they spend it. The Broncos, it's impressive what they're doing, because they're doing it with one arm tied behind their backs, and it's somehow working. It's ugly as sin, but it's, you know, a W. So they're not fun to watch, but at least it feels kind of like an underdog, and I respect it. It's kind of like Moneyball, you know? Like, I don't like the Oakland A's, but you kind of rooted for them because they were in such a fucked up money situation. So it's like, you know what? Go ahead. So, I don't know.
You just like them because Brad Pitt was in the movie.
Oh, sure. Why not? You got me. Next.
What does God want?
Oh, all right. Home. God picked home, too. That D is going to get behind the Raiders.
Chuck, this week we are all Broncos fans.
Chuck, by the way, are you writing down Chuck's picks? They're in the comments.
I'll do it.
Next, we have the Arizona Cardinals visiting the San Francisco 49ers. Eric, you go first.
49, por favor.
Yeah, I agree. 49ers. The Cardinals need a get-right game, and this ain't it. So, give me the Niners.
You're going to have
God
a
picked
bad couple
home.
of weeks.
Yeah, got picked home. Chuck saying, listen, I picked the Chargers over Raiders and Chiefs all day. So I have you guys back. Have mine. All right. You know what? Fair enough. We hate...
Go Donkeys.
We hate two similar things. We can tolerate another. There you go. Fair? Right? Fair?
Go Donkeys. Go Donkeys.
You know, it's one of those things, like, I don't wish good things for the Broncos. I'm not happy when good things happen to them. But if you're telling me, would I rather see the Raiders, the Broncos, or the Chiefs win a Super Bowl? It's an easy choice, right? Like,
yeah.
It's always, the most important thing is who's standing right next to you. And standing next to those two ugly hoes, the Broncos are the most beautiful girl in the room. So, there you go.
It's just like politics. Who do you hate the least?
Pretty much, yeah. Let me see. Next, did I give you the God?
What does God want?
God wants away. Next,
We got to be like particular with God because he's doing really good this season.
I know, right? He's kicking our asses. Next, we got the Giants visiting the Seattle Seahawks. So, based on how the Seahawks looked this week and how the Giants looked this week or last week, give me the Seahawks. They playing good ball.
I like the Seahawks and the 12th man on the field.
Yep. God picked home. Next,
You think they're gonna bench Daniel Jones the season that they paid him?
I think that they should. Yes. Next, we have the Green Bay Packers visiting the Los Angeles Rams. I have no idea what the injury situation is in LA right now. I know that the Packers, you know, Jordan Love, he looked bad for one half. The second half, he looked better. So, give me the Packers.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get over that bad luck mojo of wearing that Brett Favre shirt.
Yeah, that was dumb. That was really dumb.
Yeah. And it's a get right game for them. I think the Rams are just too damn hurting.
They're good, but they're too damn hurt. Got picked home. Next, is this a Monday game? Let me just double check, because we're doing double Monday. Okay, now so I don't know
like the
why.
whole double Monday thing.
Okay, so it's not. It's Sunday night. So Sunday night football. I don't know who the hell scheduled this, but it's going to be the Cowboys visiting the Steelers.
Thank God I have D&D that night. I have to watch it.
I mean, I would have flexed this game for the Bills versus the Texans. Maybe, but okay, I guess. Eric, who do you like?
I would have flexed this game for a WNBA game.
Because I wouldn't watch that either.
Yeah. I think I like the Steelers still. I think they're still boring but effective.
Listen, I don't like either of these teams, but I'm going to go Steelers at home.
You think
also
the Cowboys are just toast?
listen,
McCarthy's done?
the Steelers play a very similar brand of football to the Ravens, and the Ravens shellacked the freaking Cowboys. So, wait, no, I changed my mind. I'm going with the Cowboys. Picking the Cowboys, cause
that's good. I accidentally put you down for the Cowboys.
yeah, and here's my logic. Like I said, similar brand of football, tough defense, whatever. But the Steelers is nowhere close to having the offense that the Ravens has. So I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
All right.
Got picked home.
Accidentally made a move.
All right, and Monday Night Football, which is again, this is one of the little things where you're like, it's a tiny advantage to the Chiefs that's super annoying. Tiny advantage because it's the Saints versus the Chiefs. So the Chiefs get like an extra day of rest. It's just annoying. Now again,
Well, but the next
Saints,
week they're gonna play a day early.
no, they have a bye week.
Of course they.
Exactly. So when they would have had a short week, bye week. It's annoying. Like again, their game against the Falcons had a shorter week. It's the little things that's really annoying. Super annoying. Because again, and I've said it a million times, and I hate saying it because it physically hurts me. The Chiefs are good enough to win without all these little pieces of shit help. All right? But again, you know what? Maybe they're just lucky. Maybe they're lucky and this was not planned out this way. But what fucking ever. Chiefs at home. Again, also at home against the Saints. The Saints, phenomenal team in the Superdome. Outside of the Superdome, kind of, you know, let's say beatable. So, Eric, who do you like?
Man, I'm gonna have to go with the Chiefs again. I think I picked them every week, and
Actually-
I was right.
Actually, you know what? Let me just see if I want to be extra pissed. Just double check. I want to make sure. All right, so
Honestly, I respect Patrick Mahomes' thing of like, yeah, I mean, we're pretty much the villains.
dude,
And
okay.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Check this out. You ready? Are you ready? All right. So
My liver isn't.
first game of the season, Thursday Night Football, Chiefs versus Ravens. That means that for week 2, Chiefs against the
had,
Bengals,
like,
they had
3 days.
3 extra days of rest. Then the Falcons play on Monday night. And the next week they play against the Chiefs. So Chiefs get what? 1 extra day of rest. Falcons get 1 day less. Next they have a brutal, game of attrition against the Chargers. They get what? 1 extra day of rest because they got Monday Night Football. And then they get a bye week when it should have been a shorter game against.
And they played a decimated Chargers team.
Exactly. But I mean, that's just luck of the draw. But here's the funny thing, all right? Who do you
That's
think?
what we're talking about? The fucking luck.
Who do you think they have against after the bye?
What division are we playing? The Bears.
No.
The Broncos?
Nope.
Maybe it's the. Oh wait, no, it's gonna be a hard team.
Yep.
The Vikings.
Nope.
Packers.
Nope.
Wait.
I'll
who's
just tell
playing
you.
on Monday. Yeah.
No, it's Sunday. It's the San Francisco 49ers.
Ooh.
Right? So they're getting the 49ers off a bye. So
Yeah.
instead of playing Monday night against the Saints and then Sunday against the freaking 49ers, they get a bye in between. It's one of those little bullshits that you're like, it's infuriating. Let's just say it's infuriating. I don't like it.
Honestly, it's a great way to write a villain.
Sure.
It's the little things.
It's the little things that you're like, why does it always have to fall? Like, it's one of those things where you're like, all right, so I get it if 70% of the time it falls your way because you're lucky. It's that extra 5% that annoys the fuck out of me, right? Because you don't need it. You don't need it. You're good enough. You don't need it. But yeah, who do you pick, by the way? By the way, Chuck's saying he's picking the Chiefs. Who do you like? Because
Yeah,
listen,
I'm thinking the Chiefs too.
I'm torn. The Saints have a really good defense, supposedly.
So pick them.
And the Chiefs, their offense, kind of having issues. But like I said, the issue here is the Saints offense because they're not the same team outside the Superdome. And the Chiefs are the Chiefs. My mind's telling me no.
I
But
think
my body is telling me yes.
Should I put you down for some
No, I don't.
some steak with ketchup?
Does Derek Carr eat steak with ketchup?
No, I meant the Chiefs.
Man, I don't like it. I don't like it. Listen, I've seen the Chiefs play 4 weeks in a row. There were all games they should have lost.
But they didn't.
They didn't. Give me the Chiefs. Fine. God picked the way.
God, I hate this league.
God picked the Saints.
Good on you, God.
Yeah, good on you, God. All right, so there you go. Those are our picks for this week.
Expected.
Man, I don't know anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm hoping I get that one wrong. Like I'd be pleasantly surprised to see the Saints won and I didn't get that point. And I missed it because my gut's telling me. It's telling me I should pick the Saints. But nah. Like Mahomes says, I need to see it. I need to believe it to see it or whatever. Or I'll believe it when I see it.
I like that.
He said it backwards. I'll see it when I believe it or something. I don't know. He said it backwards, but it was, yeah.
I kind of like the other. I kind of like the backwards one.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
I think that's it. Oh man, this has been a doozy of a fucking season, dude.
Yeah,
My
but
liver is not gonna survive it.
no. But you know, we're getting our podcast down to like under an hour 10. No, hour 13 today, which is good. You know, we're doing better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Chargers would have beat them if they would have had everyone healthy. I agree. But let's see. As always, comments, questions, suggestions, you can find me at DarioSDW and at Super Dario World. Like I said, the next 2 weeks are going to be weird. They're going to be weird because I'm going to be doing this over the phone. And I'm pretty sure Eric's going to fuck up a little. And it's probably going to be funny. I won't be able to see the comments. That's going to be weird. So you're going to have to run the entire comment stuff. But fuck it. I'm on vacation. We don't get paid for this. So whatever, man. As
That is
always,
the main thing. Whenever I start getting stressed, it's like I ain't getting paid for this shit.
Exactly. We're supposed to do it because it makes us feel less stress. Anyway,
Yeah.
also because it's fun. Anyway, as always, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.